I got another banger for you guys. Stay tuned. Guys, welcome to the Mr. Bubbles channel, where we dish out awesome pressure washing business advice to beginners. I got an awesome episode for you. One of my favorite segments here on the Mr. Bubbles channel. But before we get into today's episode, I wanted to get this announcement out of the way. We have our GMB Google My Business Mastermind class coming up for the month of March. It's on the second Wednesday of March. Guys, remember, this is a Zoom tutorial, so you can watch this from your phone, from your computer. We just had our class in January and February. As you guys well know, the season is right around the corner for the vast majority of us as the weather is, getting ready to change here soon. So you do not want to miss this tutorial, guys, because it's a true how-to step-by-step, 1.5, 2 hour long class where we teach you exactly how to optimize your Google My Business. This is going to boost your visibility in your local area there. And if you follow the steps on there, guys, definitely going to be able to outrank your competition there in your local area. Now, in order for you to sign up, all you got to do is go in the description of this video. You'll see a little sign there, a little thing there that says, sign up here. Make sure you hit that, because as of today, the moment that you're watching this video right here, we only have 10 more spots available. The class only fits 25. 15 people already signed up, and so make sure that you're one of those spots, one of those 10 spots. Guys, you do not want to miss this one. But yeah, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right in. As I said in the beginning, guys, one of my favorite segments here to Mr. Bubbles channel. This is a regular. I think we've done this now about 7 or 8 times, and man, you guys seem to really like it as well. This is where we answer 5 questions from you guys. I pluck these questions straight out of the, what is that thing called? The comment section. Now, if you want to be featured in future videos like this one, make sure you're spamming the comment section of our videos there with some really interesting question, because again, that's where I picked these from. And just as we've always done in the past videos, I'll put up here the person, their handle, their YouTube handle, and the actual questions so you guys can follow along. So question number 1, we have coming to us from at Ola Lekin 9175. And the question here is, if you're just starting off, do you need a rig? I absolutely love this question. I get a variation of it about a couple dozen times a month through email or through the comment section. Guys, you got to remember, when I started my business 12 years ago, there was not the level of information that, we now have in the industry with all the content out there, all the content creators, such as myself, of course, But the thing is, I didn't build my first rig into my 3rd year. So that's a great question. And the answer to that, the short version is, of course, you can run a business, without building a rig. The question you should be asking yourself, though, is, should you run a company without a proper rig? If I could go back in time, of course, knowing now what I know, absolutely I would not do it, because, guys, if you're out there, pulling the machine around and carrying buckets with you, man, you turn a 1 hour house wash into 3 to 5 hours, depending on the size, or more, depending obviously on the size of the house, but it can be a lot more than that. So, and then on top of that, it's just very hard work, grueling work. It makes the job so much easier when you have everything is stationary in your vehicle. And then, it's going to make it faster, more professional, and all of that stuff. So what I recommend you guys do, and like I said, you can go out there and wash without a rig, but what I recommend you do is you build up your arsenal, over a few weeks, and then you build yourself a rig. Of course, here on my channel, guys, I have 2 rig build series. I have a truck and a trailer one. Both of those rigs were made with under $5,000. So it's not like it costs a ton of money. You can get that back in 10 to 15 washes out there. So yes, you can run a pressure washing business without building a rig, but I recommend you do, because also the rig building process, guys, is going to give you very, let me put it this way. It's going to give you much needed expertise in the industry, right? You're going to understand what a buffer tank is, what a sauce tank is. You're going to know the ins and outs of how your system works, which is going to make you more efficient in the field, but also it's going to elevate your expertise in terms of your journey of becoming a master of the craft, right? A new career, diving right in, because understanding how your rig works is a big part of making money in this field, because it makes you more efficient. But there you go. That's the answer. Yes, you can, but you shouldn't. Number 2 on our list comes to us from @TyQueen-S3R. Let me repeat that. @TyQueen-S3R. The question is, do you pre-wet the house before you sauce? Wow, what a great question. Again, I get this question a couple times. I will say this, I don't pre-wet. You guys have seen now, what do I have on my channel? Probably 60, 70 videos of me doing house washes out there. You've never seen me pre-wet a house. And the reason for that being is we always spend a lot of time in the post-wet process. The bottom line is you always have to do the post-wet. If you're a pre-wet person, that's okay, but it doesn't matter if you pre-wet, you still have to post-wet, because the problem is you can't leave the chemical on the plant. So, you know, in the process of washing a house, downstreaming or soft washing a house, guys, you're always going to get some level of chemical on there, right? Because it's wind, because of overspray, etc. And again, you just can't leave that on there. Typically anywhere between little plants 10 to 15 seconds, and your bigger plants all the way up to a minute worth of water at the end. Now, I know there's a lot of people, content creators, that they're pre-wet type people. You can pre-wet if you want. In my personal experience, and I've been doing this for 13 years now, it's not necessary as long as you post-wet. It's not necessary. So remember, at the end of every job, you want the wall, the windows, and the plants to be chemical free. So make sure that you're putting a lot of water on there. You know, if you pre-wet, that's adding, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes more to the job. And I'd rather save that so, you know, at the end of the day, I can squeeze in another job or squeeze in more marketing. But again, it's a thing of preference. I choose not to. A lot of guys do it. It's not super necessary. Like I said, you know, I've been in the game for a hot minute, and we've never had any issues as long as you're always wetting the plant, rinsing the plant at the very end, and that's the point. But you can if you want to, but I don't recommend it. Okay, but that was a great question, by the way. Number 3 on our list comes to us from @BossVibes. @BossVibes, ooh, that's a tongue twister, guys. @BossVibes asks, what CRM program do you use and why? So we've been getting a lot of questions on our channel and also through email about a CRM, and you guys want me to, like, you know, make content showing the CRM that we use and all of that. And I am in the works of getting that for you guys. I want to put out a lot of content out there because it makes such a difference for your business. Now, for you guys that don't know, a CRM stands for Customer Relations Management. It's the software that runs the administrative side of your business, right? This is how you input the database from the customer, you know, their profile, their name, their phone number, all of that stuff. This is how you send out estimates, invoices. This is how you do billing. Essentially, guys, this is like an AI, artificial intelligent computer that runs your company for you. A good CRM, guys, will do the work of like 5, 6 people for you. It helps you, it keeps you super organized and looking super professional with your company, because you can automate a lot of things through your CRM. And the one that we use, which is the question on there, is Jobber. Now, for the longest time, we used to have a different one that I've mentioned a lot on my channel. About halfway through the year last year, we decided to make a change because we were just looking for a company that offered better customer service. Now, all of these CRM programs, I would say the top 5 ones within the service industry, they're going to be very similar, right? They're all going to be like from A- all the way to A+. And what I really like about Jobber, to be honest with you, is just their customer service. Like when I signed up, I was giving a rep. Whenever I had a question, it was right there. They've done tutorials with me via Zoom. Guys, they go above and beyond to help their clients, and I really respect that. As you guys well know, one of the biggest things that I talk about on the channel is the importance of customer service, right? Being there for your client, always answering the phone, being super polite and helpful. And Jobber is, man, heads and shoulder above everybody else in the industry. And that's the second part to your question, why. It's because of customer service. I absolutely love Jobber, recommend them. And by the way, in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link for you guys to help you out. It's a free trial. You can try Jobber for, I think it's 30 days. And if you like it, then you can sign a contract with them. Highly recommend you do that so you can see what they're all about. Now, guys, before we get to questions 4 and 5, let me tell you real quick about my business in a box. Guys, quick announcement. I've created a digital product called Mr. Bubbles Business in a Box. Check this out. Okay, so the Mr. Bubbles Business in a Box is actually a thumb drive that we're going to send to you guys to your physical address. And when you get this thumb drive, you're going to see a folder that's called Box in it. And then when you open it, you're going to see all of these files right here, guys, all of these folders. And guys, this thing has over 500 files, anything and everything I've ever created from my business. So all of the blueprints, training modules, documents, all of the things that you guys constantly email me about, your pricing PDF, your for example, your marketing blueprints, anything that you could need for your business is in here. That's why we call it a business in a box. One of the things that I really like about this is, guys, check out all of these pictures. So you have a total of 300 before and after pictures that you guys can add to your website and your Facebook and your Google My Business. And check this out. So there's a folder called Google SEO. And the pictures already have the SEO words in them. And this one photo right here has over 300. This specific folder has 190 pictures, but all in all, it's over 300 pictures. Look at some of these pictures, guys. Amazing before and afters pictures for you guys to be able to add to all of your social medias and whatnot. This is going to help you get a lot of customers. And of course, your edible postcards are on here. And then finally, you got training videos on here as well, guys. Like, for example, the video on how to optimize your Google My Business, the Mr. Bubbles. You got several videos. So they're like training modules. You got all the PDFs. The bottom line, guys, is this. This is going to help you with your business. So don't miss out. Make sure that you email us so you can get your business in a box today. In order to get your business in a box, you just got to hit the link in the description of this video. And I say this all the time on the channel, guys. The more you know, the more you grow. That's how come I decided to create this business in a box, because it has everything in there you need to be able to grow your business. And I really, really believe that this is going to be a game changer for you. Guys, you do not want to miss out on this one. There you have it, guys. Number 4 on our list comes to us from @MrClean9740. The question is, have you had any issues getting sauce on outdoor furniture? Again, you guys have seen plenty of videos where we've talked about all the everything that we do, like the prep work that we do to get the house ready for wash. If there's furniture out there, guys, that is wood, especially painted wood, you want to get it out of the way. Or any furniture that you think, the sauce could mess it up. We move cushions, for example. Some cushions are not outdoor, like they're under a patio, like a covered patio sort of dealio. But, if you have like plastic type of furniture or chair that's been outside for like a long time, so weathered, I wouldn't worry about. But, most of the time we move anything. That's what we teach our guys out there in the field. Anything that, even if you have a doubt, like you're not sure if it's going to destroy it or not, I would definitely move it. Over a 13-year career, we had one piece of furniture, and it was a rocking chair. And it was like super oxidized. There was actually oxidation on it. The guys didn't think they needed to move it because it was just like old and oxidized. And the SH got on there and it made some weird spots. But we went there with oxidation remover and we cleaned it up. But, the bottom line is it's really rare for you to run into issues if you're moving the furniture. Now, we have a what's it called? A pre-wash list that we send to people, like for them to move things. Like, I forget what's everything that's on there, but we can send that to you guys. Customers should move most of the stuff, guys, and we charge extra if we have to do extra labor moving a lot of things, because like I remember one time I went to give an estimate. This woman had over 100 plants on her deck. I mean, imagine moving 100 plants. I mean, it literally would have taken us 2-3 hours. So, you're charging extra for those things because it creates extra labor. But the bottom line is, just move the furniture if you have any doubt about it. A lot of times, in my personal experience, whenever you run into deck furniture or furniture that's already outside, it's already been beaten up pretty good by the weather, birds and other animals, dropping stuff on it. And, it's not really that big of a deal if it's already outside. Imagine how much water and rain and snow has already beaten on it. And so the SH is probably not going to do anything to it. And then the other side of that is this. I would pay attention real closely when you're doing soft washing versus downstreaming. As you guys well know, downstreaming, I mean, that solution is less than 1%, right? We start off with a 50-50 mix. By that time that mix makes its way down our line or pressure line, it's further being diluted by water. So what's hitting the wall is like a 0.8, 0.9. But soft washing is very strong mix. You're hitting the wall, with a very strong solution. Even 2-3% is very strong. And that's when I would really pay attention to furniture, move as much of it out of the way as possible, because that 2% or 3%, or God forbid you're doing a roof and there's a bunch of furniture down there, 6%, and you'll nuke a lot of furniture. So just pay attention to that. Just make sure you move or you cover things. And by the way, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. Make sure you guys have tons of tarps. We carry anywhere between 3 to 5 tarps in our trucks. And so, that helps us out a lot in the field when we need to cover stuff. Now, number 5 on our list, this is our final question. Comes to us from @Galaxy Federation 5347. The question is, do you need a buffer tank when using a 4 GPM machine? It's so funny. This question I get asked at least once a week. I've actually never seen it in a comment section. This was the first time, but through email, I get this question about once a week. So here's the deal. I'm going to explain something to you guys that's very important, okay? But first, let me tell you that for 3 years, before I built an actual professional rig, I used to connect straight to the house because I had no clue, never even heard of the word buffer tank, right? Buffer tank is nothing but the water tank that feeds your machines. So, for example, you connected your hose, your water hose, to the customer's water. The water runs down the hose, goes into a tank called the buffer tank, and the buffer tank feeds your machine. So when you turn your machine on, the water's not coming from the house. The water that's feeding the machine is coming out of a buffer tank. And the reason for why we do that is very important for you to understand, because when you have 4 gallons a minute, okay, a machine that's 4 gallons per minute, GPMs, your machine's 4 GPM, that's exactly the amount of water that is coming out of the house. So it's tit for tat, you think, right? So you got 4 gallons a minute coming out of the spigot. Your machine's putting out 4 gallons a minute, so you should be fine. The problem here that I will tell you, and anyone that's been in a game for a minute will be able to tell you, is that while you're washing, if the homeowner, for example, is doing their laundry, taking a shower, maybe they're doing the dishes at the same time, guys, that water now is no longer 4 gallons a minute. Maybe it's 3 gallons a minute or 2.5 gallons a minute. You're going to starve your machine. So what's going to happen is you're going to hit the trigger and your machine's going to sputter and you're not going to get almost any water out of there. And what you're going to have to do is let go of your wand. And when you let go, the pressure builds up again, water builds up in a line, and then you go for another 30 seconds, you'll have to let go again, and you'll have to keep doing this over and over and over and over and over again until you finish the job. And guess what? Now you just took a 1 hour house wash and you turned it into 3 hours. But here's the bigger problem. You're also damaging your pump, right? Because guys, inside that pump, the water pump on your machine, there's parts in there that are made out of plastic. And what's going to happen is because of the friction that is being generated by the parts moving inside of there, you're going to fry, heat's going to fry, that's what we call, when people say, I fried my pump, what it means is that those plastic pieces that are in there got completely melted and destroyed. And so you don't want to do that. And, I fried my first 6-7 pumps because I didn't understand this concept. So I was constantly having issues with all of my machines because you need to feed it the proper amount of water. Hence the buffer tank. Because guess what? When you have a buffer tank, guys, it doesn't matter what hairy homeowner is doing inside their house because you got the same level of water coming out of your tank at all times, right? Because you got 100 gallon, let's say you got 125 gallon tank, and there's 80 gallons in there. Now it doesn't matter that the customer is doing whatever inside the house because you got those 80 gallons of water that's going into your machine. And guess what? Depending on how much water's in there, you're going to have 6, 7, or maybe even 8 gallons of water coming out at the bottom there, feeding into your machine. And that's why guys do that, because it helps us conserve our equipment and run at a higher, more consistent level. And then as you get into your 5 GPM, you have no choice. 5, 6, 8, and so forth, you have no choice. You're going to starve your machine and you will absolutely fry your pump and it's going to be a big mess. And again, guys, I mean, you can find tanks, guys, like those square tanks. They're called IBC totes. Guys, you find those all day on Marketplace for like $80, $100. You just you put it on your truck or you put it on your I was going to say your skid, but you put it on your trailer and you're in a game. Or you can even find these 100, 200 gallon tanks. On my build series, the tank that I use on there, we bought, I want to say, I paid around $250, $300 for 2 tanks. And one of them was a 200 gallon tank, which is what we used for our truck build series. So you can find good deals out there. Make sure that you guys are using, I would say, industry standard equipment, because again, this is going to help you do the job more efficiently. Even with a 4 gallon a minute machine, if you're not using a buffer tank, which you can, but you're going to ruin your machine and it's going to take you a tremendous amount of time to do the job correctly. So I would not recommend it. As quickly as you can. You can start out that way, but as quickly as you can, you want to invest in building a proper rig, which we talked about in question number 1 of this video. But this is very similar when we're talking about buffer tank. It's going to make you more professional, make you way more efficient, and it's going to help conserve your equipment. So I highly recommend it. And that's all I got for you guys today. Guys, I really appreciate the questions. Actually, I really appreciate you guys watching all my videos. Highly recommend you watch the next one as well. Guys, in the next episode, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 most profitable things that you can do in your business. This is where 85% of our money here, Mr. Bubbles, comes from. And I want to kind of point you guys in the right direction. Also, I have a tremendous amount of great resources to share with you. Make sure you email me. My email's super easy to find. It's in the description of every single one of my videos. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. It's one of the best parts of my day. And by the way, I do answer every single one of my emails. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.